narrow down to what it is that we think we'll be doing here today. And I know Don will show us how the app works. We will be giving a couple of, we'll do a test drive, what it is, to have some of that conversation online with regards to using that app, as far as using the Civic Voices app is concerned. And so we have a bit of, public participation happening in those spaces. But then again, over and above just participating in those conversations that we'll be having online, how again can we also ensure that we can improve or even influence some of the policies that we already have in place? So feel much welcome into this space. We are glad that you could take time to be here on a public holiday. Tutaenda kupanda miti afterwards. When you're unajua unaweza pata seedlings, make sure you plug your people in. Let's be in the know, let's do this together. And then again, asanteni sana, and I look forward to even better bit of this bit, which will be the practicality or the practical bit of this Civic Voices app. Asante.
Thank you. Let's appreciate Doctors. Asante sana for that deliberations you put there. So, in the spirit of time, honorable few, quickly, and then Waziri, officially open, and then we break for coffee break, and then we can come back and go to the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Makofi. Thank you so much. Good morning once again. Good morning once again.
Good morning.
Thank you. My name is Ifio. As I had said earlier, I represent Kenya Young Members of County Assemblies, but I'm also here in my capacity as the champion of the Civic Voices platform. I also represent the people of Karura in Nairobi City County Assembly, representing Karura Muthaiga. It's good to say I'm also a member of Jubilee Party. I haven't seen anyone from Jubilee, so I'm here for the Jubilee Party. Yes. We can have that discussion when having tea. Yes. It's important to recognize this. One of the largest parties that we have in terms of, you take statistics from ORPP, we have more members than any other party in Kenya. So we have that discussion out there. So my aim is to congratulate Civic Voices team for according me an opportunity to champion Civic Voices project in Nairobi. As a champion, we met with Don sometime last year in Kisumu when he came to do some presentation to Kenya Young Members of County Assembly, and I took it upon myself to connect him or to introduce him to the county team, and that's how he came to meet Lydia Mafia, and of course our Waziri here, Dr. Nyarita. So Daktari, thank you for the warm reception. As much as people accuse government of being a bureaucracy, Waziri do not represent that. Hata vile umevaa leo. So we thank you, and also Patrick and your team. Also allowed me to also thank International Republican Institute for the financial support, and also acknowledge CMD and FES for the support. As much as CMD you didn't invite Jubilee, it's okay. Lastly, on political parties, we'll have that discussion. I'm quite hurt. Thank you. So, and lastly, the political parties that are represented here, this app has been piloted in Nairobi, and it is a success. Because digital way of doing public participation in a big way complement the physical way of doing public participation. So we urge also the political parties that are represented here. This is an app that you can use in your political processes, because in Nairobi County is being used in the processes of leadership and governance. And Nairobi County, we have been able to achieve meaningful public participation. Because public participation is just not public participation, it must be improved. So with those few remarks, asante sana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, you. And Yani, he is elected member, but has been appearing every time required. Like on a call, he always comes. And, he says, I want to be the ambassador of the Civic Voices in the county assembly. So the other discussion about which party, that one now is, I know him differently. I know him differently on this particular mission. So I don't know the protocol, whether it was directed to introduce Waziri or call Waziri directly. So you give you the honors to introduce Waziri and give remarks and flag us off as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. Still morning. Good morning once more. Thank you, Mheshimiwa, for those very kind remarks. Now it's my pleasure to invite Waziri, but maybe what you need to know is that you are from many counties here, and the county is the only county in this country that has a sector purposely for public participation and system. Please address the camera. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Mheshimiwa, few, I find it very difficult to pronounce the name because of where I come from Pakistan. Thank you, Ben. Good done. CMD, yes. Colleagues from the various political parties, my colleagues from the county, thank you very much for making it today. I was informed this a while back, and Patrick is very passionate about not only public participation but also civic education. So much so that it's pushing for the directorate in public participation, directorate of public participation, which is very rare. I know you guys call us from Joe, but I can tell you, there are people who work and they're very passionate about what you do. And for that reason, you can see they are showed up. In the morning, yesterday, he reminded me today morning was like, but I was going to plant trees at Kimber, then I said I must come, because this is very, very, very important. Democracy is the most important thing. It's a bond that ties all of us. Because when I was growing up, we did civic education in primary school. I don't know what they call it nowadays. And they told us democracy is what? Government for the people, by the people, for, by the people. Yeah. Greetings from my governor, His Excellency Governor Sakaja. He would have loved to be here. He is one of those, I think we are just taking up after him. Because you know the leader determines the pace. He's very people-oriented, he's very open policy, open door policy. He wants and is with the people for those who have seen. Yes, I know there has been a lot of climate change or climate action incidences that are, portrayed the city in a different perspective. But I think the pressure was a lot until it happened. Once we are outside of the county and outside of the country. From a county perspective, we are doing the best that we can with the resources that we have. And for me, is to call upon each and every one of you to support the county in whatever area of expertise, and in terms of resources, whether it's financial or human resources, in partnerships. You have seen that we have an open policy, and we're very open to partnership because we want Nairobi to work. If Nairobi works, then we as the residents of Nairobi are residents. I know maybe not all of them are from Nairobi, but the issues in Nairobi as a place, because that's where we are, and that's where we are making it work. We're on the grind, so we know where it hurts and why it hurts and what we can do about it, and we will call upon you to come and support us. So thank you very much. civic voices, not a thing. When you're signing up with the counties, just when I was coming into the sector, I was previously in health. I'm a pharmacist, so I've been in the private sector for the longest, until December of 2022, when His Excellency the Governor asked me to come and serve in his cabinet. So we started off in health. July last year, I was moved to this, but it's very exciting because when I came in, I realized you're dealing with democracy. Now, when we talk about public participation, and I want this digital technology and any other innovations that you're going to come behind it, because I like the way you're progressing. Please make sure people know the difference between public participation and civic education. But the other thing is that in all that, how do you engage the citizen? So citizen engagement is very important. So for us in Nairobi, help us, and I know you're on that journey already, to identify what are the gaps in public participation, in civic education, in citizen engagement, and once we have identified those gaps, then we'll be able to close them. I know there are some counties that are ahead of us because they embraced OGP. OGP is the Open Government Partnership. I think Civic Voices were with us on that. You know, we just reactivated it. And then also there is another World Bank funded project called KSDP. There was one, and there was two. Now, for those counties that embraced both OGP and KDSP1 projects, I mean, like Makueni County, which is my home county, they've really done very well. But for us, we are saying we will learn from the best, experience sharing. We've had sessions through COG of the same to really understand how do we become the best in class. Yeah? Makueni was the first in class, but we want to become the best in class. Because Nairobi needs to set the pace. Not because of anything else, but because, 30% of the country GDP is Nairobi. 10% of the country population is Nairobi. Nairobi sits at the center of the city, of the country. So if we cannot be the lead, then I think we are not being fair to our residents. So for me, that's where I come from. Now, not sure how many of you know how we are organized and the different sectors that we have. Because it's the sectors that address the Sustainable Development Goals, which goes hand in hand with what you guys are talking about today, which is sustainable development. I don't know how many of you know how we are structured in Nairobi City County. Yes. So let me just quickly tell you. And as I go through this, just think through from an SDG perspective, because we have to cut across all the SDGs, including partnerships, which is why we're here. So we have, of course, we have the governor and his deputy governor who are elected. Then we have those who are appointed to the cabinet, who are the county executive committee members, who are the equivalent at national level of the waziri, central they call the waziri. So at county level, they call them county executive committee members. At national levels, they call them county secretaries. But those are the members of the cabinet. And then below the CSA, the county executive committee members, is the chief officers, the county chief officers. So your equivalent of PS, permanent secretaries. And then below them, you have the technocrats, the drivers, the guys who make sure that even if, because the CSS will change, because CCs will change, the CCOs will change, then how do we ensure sustainability of the projects and the programs that are run in the county? By ensuring that we have experts like Patrick who are running the programs and advising the chief officers and the CCs and by extension the governor. Then of course below that is the deputy directors, assistant directors, and so on and so forth. So that is the technical team. I know you all talk here about the county secretary. So the county secretary is the secretary to the cabinet, secretary to the county executive committee. County executive committee. So county executive committee is the cabinet for what do you call it, at the county level. And then he's also the head of the county public service. So the CCs are not part of his team, but chief officers and below, those are headed by the county secretary. I'm telling you this because I came from private sector, these are things I didn't know. And with time I have learned. And I've learned that when you learn something, also teach, because people may know, but majority of the people, especially if you're not inside government, you may not know. Yeah? Now, the Constitution provides, Constitution provides that maximum number of county executive and committee members any county can have is 10. There's a formula, I think it's a third of the total number of, 30% of the total number of, even if you can educate me, 30% of the total number of sub-counties, wards, or a maximum of 10. So most of the counties have opted for 10. So for us, again, thinking through the SDGs, we have Green Nairobi. So Green Nairobi is responsible for environment, for agriculture. By the way, people don't know that there's agriculture in the city. It's a big deal. Yeah? So we have urban agriculture, we have water and sewerage, among others. Then we have health, wellness, and nutrition. So the health, wellness, and nutrition, you have public health, all this, what is happening now in terms of any potential outbreak because of the climate action. I'm looking at her because I just learned that usually I knew it was climate change, but I know that people change the time, now that is, the waterborne diseases, those are aspects that are dealt with by the public health teams, inspections of buildings, ensuring that the people who make the food that we eat in public areas, in hotels, and so on and so forth, have been checked. But also critical for you is under health, wellness, nutrition, so we have the school feeding program, which is a flagship program of the government. So important for us to work that. Then we have business and hustler opportunities, which is like your trade and investment, your markets, SMEs, and so on and so forth. Then we have my sector, which is the inclusivity, public participation, and customer service. And this, like Patrick said, it was deliberately formulated to ensure that matters of public participation, citizen engagement, civic education they have a chief officer who actually focuses on that, in addition to public comms and customer service. But also important is gender and inclusivity, mainstreaming persons with disabilities, mainstreaming gender, ensuring that no one is left behind. So it is our work to sensitize the other sectors to ensure that they're sensitive on matters of inclusion. And then finally is Viable the City. And again, Viable the City is one of the top 10 priority programs and projects for the governor. And this is where the city culture, arts, and tourism sits. And maybe you've seen recently we have a band of choirs. At the end of the year, we normally have the Nairobi Festival, so just to celebrate the culture. But in between, the urban culture, but in between, we have a lot of activities also happening related to that. Then we have talent, skills development, and care. This is sports, education, and youth. We have built environment and urban planning. This has been tested by the climate change in the last few days. But again, there's a lot that has gone into ensuring from a preventive perspective, but also ongoing to ensure that the response is well structured. Then we have innovation and digital economy, which is the ICT, ensuring that, as much there's a lot of innovation, we got digital, so you've seen we just moved from many permits to unified permits, so that's part, and then from manual procurement process to e-procurement. So as much as possible, trying to move from manual to digital. And I'm saying this means that you can see where can you, in your area of practice, or in your area of expertise, where can you plug in as an organization. Don't fear to reach out to us. I know most people do not know that they can actually reach out to Patrick, they can reach out to Mathia, who's the chief officer, they can reach out to you, they can reach out to, if you reach out to the three of us, then we will move. A lot of things, people tend to move directly to the governor. It's like moving to the president. If you want things done faster, because at the end of the day, it will come with a responsible sector. It's always easier to engage at the director level and chief officer level or the waziri level, and the directors will always lead you to how. So don't be afraid to reach out, yeah, because we're here to serve the people. I came from private sector to come and serve the people, the residents of Nairobi. I did not want to do anything else, yeah, and that's why I make time whenever the team needs me to be present, because that's the only way we can support. That's the best way we can engage, and also for you people to see that we are really committed as a county, isn't it? We are really, and we do value your time, we do value your partnerships, we do value your presentations, and for us it's how can we partner with you? How can you partner with us to help us make Nairobi work? We have a very strong work plan, very clear county integrated development plan, 5-year plan. Just need to look at that and see where can I help, where can I support. Because every year we only have maybe a small fraction of a budget that we have wanted to implement the plans. This is where the partners is coming. This is where civic voices coming. And civic voices have been, we were aspiring to digitalize public participation. We didn't know how until we did. So really look at it's on our website, the County Integrated Development Plan, the CIDP. Look at our annual development plans, the IDP, and the annual work plans. They're all on the website. They'll be able to guide you in terms of how, the things that needs to be done to realize the manifesto of His Excellency the Governor. So that's very important. And then we have mobility and works, another one that has been tried and tested. Again, a lot of projects behind this, a lot of support coming from development partners, World Bank included. But again, see where you guys can come in and support. Then we have the barrels, administration and personnel. So barrels, we have 6 barrels. I think Dan, you talked about, we did the public participation, it was digital as well as physical. In fact, the good thing we did with this one, and this is how, the biggest challenge we have with implementation of public participation is too expensive. So how can you work with us to make it cost effective? Yes, cost effective. Or support us in funding to make it, because what we did with the barrels that we call them administrators, and we educated them told them about what it is, what are the barrels and what were we thinking, and they went back and told their people. So when we had the actual public participation, so we did civic education before. With all this, yes. So when it came to the actual public participation, it was a lot easier. People understood what it is that we're pitching, what is the governor's vision, and how is it going to make service delivery a lot better, how is it going to make service delivery come down to mashinani. So those are the things that really so barrels administration, which is the sub-county administration, from the we have at the sub-county level, we have the sub-county admin and the team, and then at the ward level, we have the ward admins and teams, and so on and so forth. Then finally, number 10 is the finance and economic planning, which are matters of budgets, procurement, payments, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to take you quickly through what it is that how we are structured, because we may be slightly different from the traditional structure of a county government. I know you're coming from other counties, some of you, so just to tell you in Nairobi how we're structured and how that works for us. So in conclusion, really for me is to thank you very much for finding time in really big numbers to come and be with us as we to come with the as civic voices tell us about the project and what path they're taking. But also as a county, we're happy to receive your feedback on any of the 10 items on sector governance or any other that you'd like us to address, discuss. So partnerships for us is critical. One time when there's a private sector, someone from MOH, one of my friends from MOH, they were chief executive secretary during COVID time. So that's exactly what we hear as partnerships is the new innovation. So very important because I was in private sector, bringing all the private sector together, and over the years and person between them and the government. Whether it's the Ministry of Health, any other state agencies that had a stake or have a stake in any aspect of health. The other thing is that as much as possible, we want to fast track enhancing of public participation, and that's why we have reactivated our membership in the Open Government Partnership. We're working on creating the action plans, and public participation is a big deal there. The same thing with the KSDP2, the World Bank. Public participation, civic education is very strong, it's very big there. And our desire is to realize that in the next 2 years at most, so that we can feel the impact and we can have a lot of civic education. We must focus on civic education, citizen engagement as we do our public participation. For public participation, I'm very keen on sort of delineating the two is that the legislated public participation that we have to do around the budget cycle. So those we do very well. But educating people on the thing, because we're doing a lot of good stuff for the county. But we're not speaking enough. We're barely speaking about what we do. If we spoke about what we do, then I think you guys will be very motivated to come and say, oh, what can I support? But for now, because we don't speak much, and again, speaking that much is in my sector, so we are scaling that up. Another area that I would like a lot of support in. And then finally, of course, we're looking at introducing technology to the traditional public participation, citizen engagement, and civic education forums. How can you help us scale that up? Because I want Nairobi to be the model county that it should be. I know we're probably not there, but step by step we shall be there. And important in all we do is inclusion. So it is my pleasure and honor to declare this session or workshop officially open, and I wish you a
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate Rosie again. Joining us in potential areas of partnership. We are grateful. We've come to the tail end of our first session, opening remarks and introduction. Would I ask us briefly to take 15 minutes to have a coffee break that is sat there. Wondering whether Waziri is here with us or she is leaving immediately. All right, okay. Asante sana. All right. So, colleagues, I have been requested for a photo session. I don't know how this will work with us. Pamela?
Yeah.
Was it gonna request photo and then as we break for tea. So the ideal place is not inside here.
It's okay, we cannot make it as long as we know. It is, again, communication of the things
Okay.
that we're doing and
All right. Okay, definitely. If we are not able to make it because of space, we then will share the feedback with Patrick to get to Waziri again for that particular session. Yes. Is it correct? There's a consensus from CMD and from county government that we just have a photo. And all those who want to have, I know people would want to have photos. You can't prevent anyone from having photos. So maybe we just take 5 minutes as we break. But your picture after that photo session, we have plenty of, some breakout coffee there, only coffee and tea. Let us not be confused because there's a bar just there.
Where?
Just adjacent. So when I say people are breaking for drink, someone just goes straight and say, this one been to Civic Voices or CMD because they said there was a drink somewhere there. So the communication must be very clear that we are only limited to here. Just break for coffee. So colleagues, Asanteni, we can come forward, arrange ourselves, because there's also a problem in taking photos, so that you take photos as you break to take your call. 15 minutes, please. Thank you.
Soon is selected.
Dan amesema close.